If you are over 50, the glutes are no longer just muscles you train, they are muscles you negotiate with. They determine how you rise from a chair, how confidently you climb stairs, and how safely your spine carries the weight of your life. From a biological standpoint, these muscles are among the largest and most powerful in the human body, yet they are also among the first to lose function with age. This loss is not dramatic or sudden, it is subtle, almost polite. It happens when sitting replaces standing, when convenience replaces movement, and when the nervous system slowly forgets how to speak to muscle fibers that once worked effortlessly. What we call weakness is often silence, a breakdown in communication rather than a true loss of capacity. And the hopeful truth is that communication can be restored. The slow, intentional squat becomes the first language lesson. When you descend with awareness, the glutes are asked to lengthen under control, a process science calls eccentric loading. This type of contraction is particularly valuable after 50 because it strengthens muscle while protecting joints. As you rise, the glutes shorten and extend the hips, rediscovering their original role as engines of upright movement. Beneath this visible action, something quieter happens. Dormant motor units are recruited, neural pathways sharpen, and the brain begins to trust the lower body again. Strength, in this context, is not brute force. It is coordination between intention and tissue. Each controlled repetition reminds the body that standing up is not a risk, it is a skill. There is also a philosophical dimension to this movement. The squat mirrors one of the most basic acts of human life, sitting and rising. To practice it slowly is to acknowledge change without surrendering to it. It teaches patience, respect for limits, and confidence in progress. The glutes respond not to urgency, but to consistency. When they feel safe, they activate more fully. And as they awaken, the knees feel less burdened, the lower back less tense, and posture subtly improves. Over time, the body begins to move not defensively, but cooperatively, rediscovering strength that was never lost, only misplaced. Lowering yourself to the floor and lifting the hips in a glute bridge may seem almost too simple to matter, yet biology often hides its most effective solutions in simplicity. In this position, the spine rests, the joints decompress, and the glutes are given center stage. For adults over 50, this matters deeply because spinal sensitivity increases with age, often causing the body to avoid activation patterns that feel unstable. The bridge removes that fear. It places the body in a supported environment where the glutes can contract without competition from stronger but less helpful muscles. Scientifically, this improves neuromuscular efficiency, the ability of the brain to activate the right muscle at the right time. As the hips rise, the glutes engage to extend the hip joint, reinforcing their role as protectors of the lower back. When these muscles are strong, the spine does not have to compensate with tension. Research consistently shows that improved glute strength reduces chronic lower back discomfort, not because the spine is forced into alignment, but because it is relieved of unnecessary work. This is cooperation, not correction. The body heals best when it is supported, not commanded. There is also something quietly restorative about this movement. Lying on the ground reminds the nervous system that it is safe to explore strength without urgency. Each repetition becomes a message of reassurance. The breath slows, the muscles respond, and trust begins to rebuild. Over time, this trust carries into daily life. Standing feels steadier, walking feels smoother, and the fear of sudden movement diminishes. Strength here is not loud. It is stable, reliable, and deeply internal. Stepping onto a raised surface is an act the body performs countless times, yet rarely with awareness. Over 50, this movement often becomes cautious, rushed, or avoided altogether. The step-up reclaims it as a deliberate practice. From a physiological perspective, this exercise loads one side of the body at a time, challenging balance, coordination, and glute activation in a functional way. The glutes must extend the hip, stabilize the pelvis, and manage body weight, precisely what they are designed to do. This unilateral demand is crucial as we age because imbalances tend to grow quietly. One side compensates, the other withdraws, and over time the body adapts around weakness instead of correcting it. The step-up interrupts that pattern. It forces each glute to participate fully, restoring symmetry and confidence. Neurologically, the brain responds well to movements it recognizes as essential. Climbing is not abstract, it is survival-based. This familiarity accelerates adaptation, making strength gains feel more natural and less forced. Beyond the science, the step up carries emotional weight. Each controlled ascent is a reaffirmation of independence. It reinforces the idea that the body is still capable of navigating the world. The glutes respond to this sense of purpose. As they strengthen, the knees feel supported, balance improves, and fear quietly recedes. Movement becomes less about caution and more about continuity, the simple assurance that the body can still carry you forward. The hip hinge, often misunderstood, is one of the most protective movements the aging body can relearn. It teaches the glutes to load and unload force without burdening the spine. When the hips move backward and the torso inclines forward with a long spine, the glutes absorb the demand, sparing the lower back. Biomechanically, this restores the posterior chain, the interconnected system of muscles responsible for lifting, bending, and carrying. With age, many people lose this pattern, bending through the spine instead of the hips. This shift is not weakness, but adaptation to fear or stiffness. The hinge reverses it gently. As the glutes engage, they remind the nervous system that the hips are strong, capable joints designed for movement. Over time, this reduces spinal tension and redistributes load more intelligently through the body. Philosophically, the hinge teaches wisdom. It shows that strength is not about rigidity, but about alignment. When force flows through the right structures, effort decreases and resilience increases. Everyday tasks become easier not because the body is stronger everywhere, but because it is stronger where it matters most. The glutes become quiet guardians, managing stress before it reaches vulnerable tissues. Finally, the lateral movements, side leg raises or controlled lateral steps, awaken the glutes that stabilize rather than propel. These muscles work behind the scenes, keeping the pelvis level and the body balanced with every step. They often weaken unnoticed, yet their absence is felt in instability and falls. From a scientific standpoint, strengthening these fibers improves joint integrity and neuromuscular control, particularly in the hips and knees. These movements demand patience. They are subtle, precise, and often humbling. But their impact is profound. As these stabilizing glutes strengthen, walking becomes smoother, standing feels lighter, and balance improves without conscious effort. The body regains its quiet confidence. This is not dramatic strength, it is sustainable strength. The kind that allows freedom, dignity, and continuity of movement long after 50, reminding us that the body does not resist aging, it adapts when we listen.